Bill Gates says competition is always a fantastic thing. It keeps us on our toes. On It's My Biz, we meet small business owners determined to make a big impact in a fiercely competitive world. Join us and make your vote for small business. In tonight's episode, our business owner gets advice and insights from two self-made entrepreneurs who took their businesses from humble beginnings to multi-million rand successes. She'll also meet the small business champion at Google South Africa. Tonight's small business owner is Zonya Barnard. I went to meet her at her offices in the Fair Cape.
My working career started in the Cape. I started off in nursing after school. I was employed by the health department for 9 years. I took the package and I retired. Then I was at home feeling bored. I'm not a person that can sit still. I thought to myself, I need to keep myself busy. I need to start something. So I bought a vehicle out of my cash that I invested. And the business grew and the work was just getting too much for me. But if you know there's potential for growing, you're not going to say no. I started off with the private sector, and then the fuel went up and the private sector couldn't pay anymore, and I was getting less and less work from them. That's when I started with the City of Cape Town and the health department, and then more work came from there.
And what did you learn from that experience?
If you work hard and you know what you're doing, you can actually get where you want to be.
What has been your most significant accomplishment since you started this business?
There were people complaining about not being able to step up so high, getting into the bus. And the aircon was giving me problems all the time. And also they were complaining about back problems because of the vehicle I was using didn't have a lot of reclining space. And I just decided, no, I'm going to have a bus made to my specifications. I know now what people want. This is the first bus that has been built with my specs.
Tell me what the 3 biggest challenges are of running this business.
Marketing, it seems bigger companies, they are the ones that get all the work because everybody knows about them. Or maybe because I don't have a website. Pricing, if you look at some costs, they're sky high. The more work you get in, you can actually keep your prices lower. If you don't have a lot of work, you just have to give them the same price. Seasonality, the business goes quiet and then all of a sudden it's peak time during the summertime. We started working with the City of Cape Town and the City Department and the Health Department to keep us going at a time when there is no work like in winter.
What are you hoping to learn from the thought leaders we're going to bring on the show?
Well, I would like somebody to assist me in growing and make my work easier. I've never had advice from anybody. If somebody could assist me find work for my 28-seater, I would appreciate that. And maybe look at our software and maybe a website.
And here she is, tonight's small business trailblazer, Zonya Barnard. Once the thought leaders have heard more about Zonya's business goals and challenges, they'll share insights and advice based on their own experience building great brands and businesses. Here's more.
Hello, my name is Gil, and I'm the co-CEO of the Creative Council Group. We've been running for about 12 years, and we are a sales and marketing solutions company.
Hi, my name is Craig Wing. I'm the head of small business marketing for Google South Africa. My primary aim is helping small businesses and entrepreneurs understand the value of the internet as well as advertising online.
Hi, my name is Mpho Sono and I am the managing director of a company called TMT Cleaning. We are providing a range of comprehensive cleaning services to the industrial, retail and commercial sectors.
It's Zonya's turn to step into the spotlight and present her business case to the thought leaders. That's coming up after the break.
Register on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need for your small business. Register on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need for your small business.
I'm Sonia Barnard. The name of my business is Stresnik Tours. I'm in operation for about between 8 to 9 years almost. I'm doing all kinds of touring. You come to me and you tell me, organize this for me and I'll work out a package for you.
Well, Sonia, firstly, well done for coming here and for being on the show and for seeking the advice. That's a first very important step. We've all got some great news for you, and that is that you are much further than you think that you are. You have simple business philosophies that are probably 90% of the success factor. And the first one is customer centricity. You are thinking primarily about your customer. The fact that you've gone and modified a bus already shows that you live and breathe your customer, and that's already a very important thing.
You said that you started this business almost out of being too idle. And I think the passion is something that's key, as well as trying to keep busy. I think you're well positioned. You've gone through the initial stages of a startup, and you're now well into business operation, and it's all about kicking on.
Gil said it perfectly, that we really should commend you for taking that leap of faith. It's surprising that people would resign and not be able to think of this sort of a business and be able to take it forward. You mentioned that you're competing with the bigger guns, and sometimes you find that you're not able to compete. You're going to have to get to a place where you find strategies that will be able to separate you from the rest of them. What is it that they're not doing that you can capitalize on in your business?
One of the things that's been mentioned is, how do you differentiate yourself? And the truth is, you've got such a bright personality, and Craig mentioned passion, which to me is the single most important thing that an entrepreneur can have. I call it passion-fueled optimism. It's the motto I live by, and I think many entrepreneurs do. Now, customers are very attracted to that. And that's the one thing that you can provide that the large corporates can't. You need to play to that weakness, which is your strength. One of the things that you mentioned is that you want to grow your revenues. You need to start thinking about, how do you further monetize what you've got? You've got a moving billboard. There are a lot of brands who need to use that moving billboard to advertise their product. You can sell advertising space by branding those vehicles, and you can get extra money for doing nothing.
What you could do is get your brand out there. If your vehicles are not already branded, that you would brand them, with your specific branding. And that's another way of getting your clients to know who you are, that you've got a presence in the Western Cape, and they can think of you each time they need a tour services company.
Great. I think there's two elements here that comes to my mind. Is one is the branding opportunities external to your vehicles itself. The other is the monitors inside your vehicles. Now you have those, and when you go on tours, you've got a captive audience, and the ability to sell advertising space internally to the vehicle, I think, is a greater opportunity as well. The other opportunity is, for example, in China, what they do is tour operators are incentivized by the government to take their customers to certain tourist areas. And there's ways also to build in a greater ecosystem. And I think that's one of the key things to look at is, what is the ecosystem that you're working in? Yes, you're a tour operator. Can you work with bed and breakfasts? Can you work more closely with other shuttle operators? I think one of the challenges is looking and saying, we are against these guys, or they do the same kind of business as us, but possibly there's an overflow. And I believe that looking at the ecosystem, there's a bigger play over here. How do you fit within that ecosystem? And how can you grow not only your own reputation, but also how can you grow everyone else in this?
Just a point about that is, I often am amazed how your biggest competition could also be your best partner and your best friend. You've got an opportunity to maybe start holding hands with some of these operators and say, listen, I need to sweat my assets. I don't care whether it's my customers or your customers, as long as that bus is on the road.
I think the benefit of what Gil is saying is that you're able to also create a relationship with them, and it's amazing the enormous amount of information that you will learn in terms of watching them run their business. You're able to pick up certain things that you weren't necessarily doing that might work for you.
What do they do well and what do they not do well? And trying to understand, where do you fit in? So overflow is a prime example, that a business that may be in competition with you can't supply the need of vehicles, whether it's pure capacity, whether it's on bulk, all the way through to working with As mentioned, the ecosystem, who else is doing similar kind of things? But I wanted to touch on more specifically is the area of marketing. And this touches on those points. So the greatest form of marketing, as you know, is word of mouth. And I think this is a key example of how you can do that through other folks that are in the same industry. You mentioned the website is a key challenge for you right now. I don't think a website's the be all and end all. I think it's a great start. I think a presence online is essentially what we're looking for, whether it's a website, whether it's something simple like Google has a G+ page. What is it that you want?
You're saying that you want international clients more often, and you need them to do the marketing for you because you don't have enough money to go and advertise internationally. But one option is using Facebook, and I've seen it work for small companies specifically. In fact, more so than the bigger companies. What you do is, as soon as a customer comes, and especially we're talking about the international guys who are all on Facebook, okay, get their details, befriend them. Each person usually has a few hundred friends, okay? As soon as you take a picture, they're standing there with you, seeing this beautiful setting in Cape Town, and you're the one who's taking the picture, uploading it in real time, and it says, here I am with Zonia, having such a great time. What a great service. Every single one of their friends who are living overseas get to see the beauty of Cape Town and your amazing service. And that's a trigger.
I've never done Facebook at all. So I need somebody to guide me through something like that.
There's actually two solutions that are posed. Facebook in the sense of having a presence online. So having the ability to have your business listing on a map with your contact details is key. But there's also more that you can do around certain of these areas. And that links to the second part of what Gil's saying is really the social interaction around this. And I think socially is where there is huge opportunity. As mentioned before, I think word of mouth drives more business than any other kind of medium.
Craig, my only question though is, for people like us, we're kind of familiar with it and we're fairly relaxed about it. How do you put Zonia in a situation where she feels confident? She's never done it before. Can she do it?
Without a doubt, there's several varieties in the marketplace right now. The one Google released is something called South African Business Wars Online. And it's a template-based solution. And we came up with this because small businesses like yourself suffer with this, saying, we don't have the time, we don't have the expertise, we don't know how to do this, we don't have the time to keep it up. You can create a website literally under an hour.
Yes. I think these things are building blocks that we've got to develop on. Yes. I think one of the things that are key that came up for me is that she doesn't have a solid information technology setup that would be able to support the things that you guys are mentioning. And therefore I think it's important for her to get a company that will be able to set up the IT technology systems that you require in your business. And I think it's important that she starts on that level.
Stuff Mpo was saying is exactly correct with one caveat, is that 5, 10, 20 years ago, you needed another company to create these systems for you. Nowadays, you can do them yourself. And if you go to www.simplybiz.co.za, there'll be a lot of information there, information all around the different topics we spoke about, but specifically around this area, around the value of social, around creating a website, creating a Google stuff for you. It's right up there, so visit the website. There'll be a lot of information to help you through these different points.
You mentioned that the bigger operating companies are literally pricing you guys out of business. That will take a little bit more work on your side to be able to price slightly below what the benchmarking rate is so that you're able to compete.
Can I just touch on Paul's point though? You need to play to the value for money angle as opposed to the cheapest angle. And the way to do that is by differentiating yourself in terms of the service offering that you provide. And all of these things are intertwined because what we were saying earlier is that if you provide a personal touch, if you give them ideas on where to go, what to do, what to eat, give them a goodie bag of things that you collect from brands who want to sample products. All of these things mean that the customer feels that he's getting more value, and you can actually charge a premium for that. So now all of a sudden you're not competing necessarily on price, but competing on value add.
Picking up what Gil said, I think there's one key thing that he said, is the difference between price and the difference between value. Never play the game based on price. Play the game on the value that you bring. Look at it from your customer's point of view. What is it they get? What do they want? And then start structuring value around it.
I think that could be used as an entry level. And then once you're in there, then you begin to shape up in terms of providing the value that will cause your customer to stay with you because you're now providing more services at a premium cost.
if there is one thing that you take away from all of this is the importance of mentorship. I certainly know that for many years, me and my partner lacked mentorship. We had to do everything ourselves, but to help you focus and to learn from this, you need a mentor. And I think you'd be surprised, Zonia, at how many people who have reached a certain level of success feel the importance of becoming mentors to mentees like yourself who have passion, who have potential, and just need a bit of guidance.
I think the mentorship cannot be overstated because it is such an important component. But I think it's always good to have an outside perspective of somebody who will come in and look into the business and be able to tell you even the hard things that you're not necessarily willing to hear sometimes. And I think it's important that you find a mentor who knows your industry and understands your industry and is able to help you take your business to the next level.
I would challenge you to find more than one mentor.
Yes.
I challenge you to find a mentor around business and understanding the intricacies around your business, possibly someone else who is in the industry, and then finally someone who maybe has nothing to do with your business or the industry that has done this road before.
How do I go about finding a mentor? Where do I go?
There are many organizations that are looking to help entrepreneurs. Part of that is mentorship programs. I think you'd be surprised to find that there are lots of organizations that want to help people like you because they know that small business is the driver of true economic, sustainable growth.
Yeah.
And certainly Nedbank is an example again of a bank committed to all of this. I don't think you'll struggle finding a mentor. What you need to make sure though is that you find the right mentor.
It's got to be somebody that you look up to and who has achieved what you're aspiring to achieve. If you really show the passion and the drive of what you want to achieve in terms of getting your business to where you want it to be, people are more than willing. And I think that's not necessarily within your industry, but somebody you know that they'll be able to give you something of value that will work for you. And I think it's a crucial thing, you can't miss it.
Some excellent and important points made about creating value for customers, establishing an online presence, and finding mentors. When we come back, the thought leaders will give Zonia their top tips.
Register on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need for your small business. Register on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need for your small business. Read about this business in the Business Report this Friday.
So many great ideas to take home with you, Zonia. Gil suggested using your vehicles as moving billboards and giving your customers goodie bags of product samples. Craig spoke about Woza Online and said that you can create your own website in an hour. Paul said mentorship is really important, and so now all you need to do is find one. Great ideas.
It's been a whole lot of ideas that I haven't even been thinking about. And I'm definitely going to try all of them.
We sure hope so. Zonia, it's time to get those critical top tips from our thought leaders. Here we go.
Congratulations. You're much further than you realize, but carry on your path. And one of the things is about passion-fueled optimism. Keep up that passion. People are attracted to it. It's infectious, and customers want to deal with people who are passionate. So never lose that. And that is what your staff need to see. And as you grow your business, passion is what will help you grow your business and help the people who work for you also feel that they're growing and building something together. The second thing is your customer centricity. You live and breathe your clients, so much so that you go and you take a bus and you tailor make it for their needs. That's unheard of, and that's what customer centricity is all about. And if you keep thinking about how do I keep making my customers happy, first and foremost, the rest will come. And if they are happy, they will do the third point, which is market for you. Let them do the marketing of your business, because the real thing is word of mouth. That's what it's all about, and that's what it's always been about. You don't have money to spend on big TV adverts. Let them do the marketing for you.
Overall, I think you've done tremendously well. I think you've taken your business past the startup stage and you're now in the growth phase. And there's two things I want you to take away from today and two things you have to action today. So the first is creating an online presence, whether that is creating a listing, whether it's creating a website, whether it's getting some kind of presence online. That is something that I want you to do today. That shouldn't take you more than absolute max 2 hours. Second thing I want you to do is I want you to start growing the ecosystem. start understanding not only who are your competitors, which you can view as guys you can compete with, but also guys that you can collaborate with. But more importantly, what other industries and what other sectors are there that you can work with? Find who else plays in that space, start speaking to each one of them. And I want you to really think over here, not the direct ones, but the indirect, because those are the ones where your business will bring additional value.
You are the business. You've got such an awesome personality, and make sure that your passion drives through into every level of your business. So keep the passion alive in your business. It's very key. One of the things I also wanted to say to you, Zonia, was that what is it that makes you different to your counterparts? What is it that you are able to add on to your business that will separate you from the rest? This will become very key, that when they think about your tour operating company, Zonia must come up at the top of the list. Also, the other thing, Zonia, is the importance of mentorship. Find the person that will be able to help you take your business to the next level. This is the person who will subscribe to the values that you believe your business should be carrying, and ask them to critique you, to tell you what it is that you're doing that is good, what it is that you're doing that is not so good, and take that as constructive criticism and take it forward. You're well on your way. Well done.
Zonia, now that you've heard those all-important top tips, what's next on the Tresnik Tours journey?
The first thing is I'm going to try and create the website with Twitter and all those things and get my business advertised there. And I'm also going to try and find mentorship. I need advice and I need somebody to stand by me, and I'm sure it will be a success.
Well, we wish you all the best. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
To see the Thought Leaders' top tips again, head to simplybiz.co.za, Nedbank's small business community, where you can access useful tools and special offers, networking opportunities, and great advice. Thank you for joining us tonight on Nedbank's Big Show for Small Business. There are many ways that Nedbank makes its vote for small business, and here's one more you should know about.
As a small business owner, you're your own boss, and you wouldn't have it any other way. But who do you turn to when you need support? You go to Nedbank's small business community at simplybiz.co.za, where you get free advice and tips on starting a business, running your business, or growing it. Where you network with other business owners, find out about important networking events, and where you can access special offers and tools to help take your business to the next level. It's the kind of solution you'd expect from a partner that votes small business. Register now on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need to start, grow, and manage your small business. Nedbank is proud to vote small business. Make things happen. Nedbank.
The aim of this business over here is to drive people to find tires.
There's a real gap in the market, which makes the business more viable. It's a very interesting model. I would pay an extra bit. You're just going to have to think.
A site that doesn't look professional says you're not professional.
On your banner, the word guarantee was spelt incorrectly. It's a nightmare to actually find out what the business is about.
And that detracts from your brand.
Your critical differentiator
is a huge missed opportunity.
I can't see how you can make money.
How do you protect that, and what makes it so much better that stops someone else from doing that?
Get you to beat it, and I'll take you out of business. And maybe they'll buy you out.